Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Podcast. Today's Thursday, June 20th, 2019. A lot to get to today. Baseball, World Cup, College World Series, 2 mock drafts, my final one for the NBA, and my second to last one for hockey, and my best bet of the day. All right, we'll start in Major League Baseball. We'll go over last night's games, look ahead to today's games, which get underway in about a half hour from now. The Yankees defeat the Rays 12-1 to complete an impressive sweep, in my opinion. They destroy Blake Snell. Yanks go to 46-27. Rays drop to 43-31. CC Sabathia gets his 250th career win. He's 4-4 in the year. Blake Snell drops to 4-6. Sabathia, 6 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. ERA 4.14. That was one of his better starts of the year. Snell only went in a third of an inning. Gave up 2 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 walks, and didn't strike out a batter. His ERA is 4.4. Yikes. The Reds defeat the Astros 3-2 to pull off an impressive sweep. The Reds are 34-38. The Astros drop to 48-27. Getting the win for Cincinnati, his first win of the year, 1-0 on the year. Matt Bowman. Roberto Osuna, the loss, 3-1, his second consecutive blown save. Tyler Mahle pitched really well for Cincinnati in this game. In 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts, ERA 4.17. Garrett Cole went for Houston. He wasn't bad. 6 innings, 6 hits, and a run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 3.54. The Nationals defeat the Phillies 6-2 in Game 1 of that doubleheader. The Nats improved to 34-38. Philly drops to 39-33. Patrick Corbin gets the win. He's 6-5. Zach Eflin the loss, 6-7. Corbin 7 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 3.9. Zach Eflin 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 2.83. Athletics over to Orioles 8-3. Oakland improves to 39-36. Baltimore drops to 21-53. Chris Bassett the win. He's 4-3. Josh Rogers the loss for Baltimore drops to 0-1 on the year. Bassett 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, rate 3.64. Jacob Yarbrough gets the opener spot for the Orioles. 2 innings, a hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. ERA 4.91. Padres over the Brewers 8-7 to pull off an impressive sweep. San Diego 38-37. Milwaukee 40-34. Getting the win for San Diego, improving to 4-0 on the year. Gerardo Reyes. Jeremy Jeffries charged with the loss. He drops to 1-1. Craig Stammen gets his 3rd save of the year, so they give Kirby Yates some rest. Strom pitched for San Diego, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, rate 4.85. Going for Milwaukee was Zach Davies, 2 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, rate 3.06. Mariners over the Royals, 8-2. Seattle improves to 32-46. Casey drops to 25-49. Marco Gonzalez gets the win. He's 8-6. Brad Keller, the loss, drops to 3-9. Gonzalez, 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.38. Brad Keller, 4 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.45. Nats over the Phillies 2-0 in the second game of the doubleheader. Story of this game is that Max Scherzer pitched in this game with a broken nose, but he looked like his old self, probably his best start of the year. 35-38 are the Nats. Phillies drop to 39-34. Max Scherzer gets the win. He's 6-5. Jake Arrieta, the loss, drops to 6-6. Sean Doolittle gets his 15th save of the season. Scherzer, 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, rate 2.62. Jake Arrieta, 6 innings, 2 hits, and a run, a walk, 3 strikeouts, rate 4.12. So not a bad outing for Jake Arrieta either. Pirates over the Tigers, 8-7. They come back from a 7-run deficit. Or maybe it was 6 runs. Yeah, 6-run deficit. Pittsburgh goes to 33-40. Detroit drops to 26-44. Richard Rodriguez gets the win. He's 2-3. Noe Ramirez, the loss, drops to 3-2. Felipe Vasquez gets the 17th save of the season. Trevor Williams, 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 4.12. Jordan Zimmerman, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, ERA 6.03. Angels over the Blue Jays 11-6. Angels playing better. They are 38-37. Toronto drops to 26-48. Noe Ramirez gets the win, 3-0. Aaron Sanchez the loss, 3-9. Andrew Heaney, 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, rate 5.68. Aaron Sanchez, 3 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts, rate 5.49. Braves over the Mets, 7-2. The Braves improved to 44-31. The Mets dropped to 35-39. Max Fried the win, he's 8-3. Steven Matz the loss, drops to 5-5. Fried 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, rate 4.03. Steven Matz, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, rate 4.28. Cubs over the White Sox, 7-3. The Cubs improved to 40-33. White Sox dropped to 35-37. John Lester to win, 6-5. Lucas Giolito the loss, 10-2. Lester, 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, and walks, 6 strikeouts, rate 4.13. Giolito, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, rate 2.74. This was his worst start in a very long time. Indians over the Rangers, 10-4. Cleveland's playing better. They are 39-34. Texas is 39-35. Oliver Perez gets the win. He's 2-1. Getting the loss, dropping the 0-1 on the year for the Rangers, Joe Palumbo. Starting for Cleveland was Adam Plutko, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, rate 4.55. Joe Palumbo was pretty much the opener, 2 innings, 7 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, a strikeout, ERA an ugly 16.5. Red Sox over the Twins, 9-4. Good bounce back win for Red Sox after a horrible loss in 17 innings the other day. Boston's 41-35. Minnesota 48-25. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the win. He's 8-4. Kyle Gibson the loss, 7-4. Rodriguez, 7 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 4.71. Gibson, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 4.18. Cardinals over the Marlins, 2-1 11 innings. This game ended on a walk-off homer by Paul Goldschmidt. Big win for the Cardinals. They go to 38-35. Miami drops to 26-46. John Gant gets the win, 7-0. Adam Conley the loss, 1-7. Daniel Ponce de Leon started for the Cardinals, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, and walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA a nice 1.2. Trevor Richards started for the Marlins, 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 3.54. Pitch count got him, so he had to be pulled. Rockies over the Diamondbacks, 6-4. Big win for Colorado. They go to 39-34. Arizona drops to 38-37. John Gray to win, he's 7-5. Zach Greinke to loss, 8-3. Wade Davis gets his 9th save of the year. John Gray, 6 innings, 6 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 4.18. He's one of the more improved pitchers this year. Zach Greinke, 7 innings, 11 hits, 5 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 2.91. Dodgers over the Giants 9-2 as they pull off the sweep as I predicted. Dodgers go to 50-25. San Francisco drops to 31-41. Dylan Floro gets the win. He's 2-1. Drew Pomeranz lost 2-7. Rich Hill only went an inning for them and struck out 2. He left the game due to an injury. San Francisco sent out Drew Pomeranz, 4 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, a walk and 4 strikeouts, ERA an ugly 7.09. Today's games at 2 o'clock, you have the Indians and the Rangers. Shane Bieber and Mike Minor, nice pitching matchup there. 3:40, Rockies Diamondbacks rubber game. Jeff Hoffman and Robbie Ray. 7 o'clock, the biggest series of the weekend. Astros Yankees, too bad it's getting overshadowed by the NBA draft and the Knicks and all that mess going on. But it's a big series anyway. Prove-it series, in my opinion, for the Yanks because they were swept by Houston earlier in the year. And that was sort of before the injuries were piling up. A lot of people forget about that because it was in early April. But now the Astros have some key guys out, although Jose Altuve is coming back tonight. Framber Valdez against opener Chad Green in this one tonight. Phillies Nationals. You got Nick Pivetta and Eric Feed. Angels Blue Jays. You have Clayton Richard going for Toronto and for Los Angeles. You have Jose Suarez, who I think is going to be an opener tonight for them. 7:15 Marlins Cardinals rubber game. You got Adam Wainwright, and making his big league debut, you have Zach Gallen, who led the minors in wins and in strikeouts. So maybe this is an ace in the making. The Marlins have some good young pitching this year. You see that with Jordan Yamamoto and Sandy Alcantara, but we'll talk about young players and prospects again in about a month before the trade deadline and whatnot. 8 o'clock, Reds Brewers. Got a division series here. Tanner Roark and Jimmy Nelson. Mets Cubs, that's a big one from Wrigley. You have Walter Lockett making his Mets debut, probably as an opener, and then Tyler Chatwood. I wonder if that's an opener as well. Well, I consider this a big series because it's New York against Chicago. The Cubs have pretty much owned the Mets other than that division series. And the Mets are a team that's in a bit of a make-or-break situation right now, whether they are going to hang around or not. If they obviously don't hang around the race, they could very well be a seller. Back to the games, 8:15 Twins-Royals. Bad team against good team. Jake Odorizzi against George Sparkman. So Twins got to take advantage here. 10 o'clock, Rays Athletics. Two pretty good teams from the American League. Charlie Morton and Frankie Montas. Giants Dodgers. You got Madison Bumgarner and Julio Urias. Wonder if Urias is more of an opener or they're testing him out as an actual starter. And Bumgarner's owned the Dodgers this year. And then, last but not least, Orioles, Mariners, Dylan Bundy, and Wade LeBlanc. Now we'll move on to the Women's World Cup. We'll go over yesterday's games and look ahead to today's games. England over Japan 2-0. England gets the win here. Their two goals were scored by Ellen White, one in the 14th minute, one in the 84th minute. Scotland and Argentina drew at 3 apiece. First goal of the game was scored by Kim Little of Scotland in the 19th minute. Next goal was scored by Jenny Beattie in the 49th minute. And then Erin Cuthbert in the 69th minute. Scotland's up 3-0. And here comes Argentina for the comeback. Milagros Menendez in the 74th minute gets Argentina on the board. Then Lee Alexander in the 79th minute gets it within a goal. And then Flor Bonsungo in the 94th minute on the penalty kick ties it up at 3 apiece. So that game ended in a draw. Going on right now is the Netherlands and Canada. My pick for that game was the Netherlands, although I don't feel good about it because Canada's a good team. And right now, as we speak, the Netherlands are up 2-1. And then Cameroon and New Zealand is going on right now. My pick for that game, New Zealand. 3 o'clock on Fox, you have the Sweden against the United States. The U.S. is the best team. I said before the World Cup that I thought the U.S. would go undefeated. There's some talk about them trying to, quote-unquote, tank this game so they can avoid France. But I wouldn't do that, and I think this is a big deal for the United States, and I think they want to go out and win in what is a home game for them pretty much tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. And then 3 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, you have Thailand and Chile. Neither of these teams are very good. Obviously, Sweden's undefeated, so is U.S. Like I said, neither Chile or Thailand are good. Obviously, U.S. cream Thailand. I'm going to say Chile wins, but I don't feel strongly about it. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw, because neither of these teams are very good. And then the round of 16 begins Saturday. I'm going to do my round of 16 predictions on tomorrow's podcast. Now we'll move on to the College World Series, where there were 3 games yesterday. Louisville over Auburn, 5-3 as Louisville advances. Good for them. They got it going early with the homer in the first inning by Fitzgerald. Auburn hung around. They actually got a homer in the 9th inning to keep the game alive for them, but Louisville survives and advances. Vanderbilt over Mississippi State, 6-3, as Vandy obviously wins. I think that Vandy wins this thing. I think they're the best team. J.J. Bleday is going to lead the way for them. He obviously was a lottery pick in the draft last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. And then Texas Tech over Florida State 4-1 in an elimination game. And Tech obviously advances or remains alive for now. Elimination game tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN2, Mississippi State and Louisville. 2 very good teams. Both these teams pitch well, and I think that the team that comes out on top will be the Bulldogs. I just think that they're the better team, although I think Louisville is a good team as well. And I'm going to pick tomorrow's game right now because I'm probably not going to do my regular podcast until the afternoon, and this game might already have been done by the time I do this. So I'm going to pick it now just in case. Not an elimination game, it's a regular game. 2 teams that are on great runs right now in Texas Tech and Michigan. I am buying this Wolverines run. This feels like it's their year. I don't know if they'll win the whole thing or they'll lose their Vanderbilt in the title round, but I really like the mojo of the Wolverines right now. So give me Michigan for tomorrow afternoon. Now I'm going to do my latest NBA mock draft, which is, believe it or not, my final one before the draft. I obviously did my predictions on some stuff with the draft last night, but some stuff has happened since I did that podcast, so be it. And we have an update in Group E. The Netherlands just took a 2-1 lead, or it remains up 2-1 against Canada. So I'll give you guys some World Cup updates throughout my mock draft. So my final NBA mock draft, without further ado, here we go. Number 1, New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson, power forward center, Duke. The Pelicans are massive winners here for landing the best prospect since LeBron James. Anthony Davis is now in Los Angeles, and the Pelicans can now start fresh with Williamson on board and all the other assets they received from the Lakers. 2, Memphis Grizzlies, John Morant, point guard, Murray State. The Grizzlies are big winners here as they jump to 2. Morant is somebody that people are down on due to weaker competition, but he really showed that he could be the real deal. Assuming he is the selection, he's the perfect replacement for Mike Conley, who was just traded to the Utah Jazz yesterday. 3, New York Knicks, R.J. Barrett, shooting guard, Duke. Barrett was the preseason top prospect before Zion broke onto the scenes and wowed everyone. He was overshadowed due to Zion's presence on the team, but he had his moments. There are hot rumors about the Pelicans jumping up to second to pick Barrett ahead of the Knicks, but I don't see it because I think the Grizzlies are set in on John Morant. 4, New Orleans Pelicans from the Los Angeles Lakers. DeAndre Hunter, small forward, Virginia. This pick is being heavily shopped to the point where I think it's moved. Hunter is somebody that was excellent in Virginia's run to the title last season, and his stock rose in light of it. I like Hunter, and I believe he could surprise some folks as a rookie because of his fine two-way play. 5, Cleveland Cavaliers, Darius Garland, point guard, Vanderbilt. This would be an interesting selection in terms of the fact the Cavaliers really don't need a point guard. Garland is somebody that barely played last season due to the fact he suffered a knee injury. A backcourt with him and Colin Sexton would be interesting. 6, Phoenix Suns, Jarrett Culver, shooting guard, Texas Tech. The Suns were one of the lottery losers as they dropped from 3 to 6. Culver is somebody that had a sensational sophomore season to become a projected top lottery pick. The Suns really need a point guard, but maybe they experiment Devin Booker and Culver as a prolific shooting backcourt. 7, Chicago Bulls, Kobe White, point guard, shooting guard, North Carolina. The Bulls dropped from 4 to 7, which isn't ideal for them. This would be an interesting selection considering they already have Chris Dunn on their roster. White is somebody who was great in his lone collegiate season, and that's what got him to this position. He and Zach LaVine would be an interesting backcourt pairing. 8, Atlanta Hawks, Cam Reddish, small forward, Duke. Reddish, like RJ Barrett, is someone that was overshadowed on the Blue Devils squad because of Zion's presence. Reddish did not shoot the ball well at times throughout the season, and he needs time to develop that consistent shot in the pros. If he does that, then the Hawks got themselves another building block to go with the rest of their young core. 9. Washington Wizards. Sekou Doumbouya, shooting guard, small forward, France. Doumbouya is somebody that showed a good jump shot and quality defensive play too. The defensive side needs to be more proven once he's in the league full-time. He's somebody that will probably be a bench player for the Wizards that could see G League time if he needs more development time. 10. Atlanta Hawks from the Dallas Mavericks. Jackson Hayes, center, Texas. Hayes is someone who developed later on in his high school days and carried it over to college. He shot from a high percentage this past season and showed an ability to protect the rim. He would be an interesting fit next to John Collins in their front court. 11. Minnesota Timberwolves. Rui Hachimura, small forward, Gonzaga. Hachimura is someone that is super talented and really took his game up a notch this past season. The buzz at the Combine was that there is very little chance Hachimura slips out of the lottery, with Minnesota generally thought to be a soft landing spot for him. 12. Charlotte Hornets. Nasir Little, small forward, North Carolina. Little is somebody who had an uneven season with North Carolina to the point where Kobe White became the best freshman on the team. He showed flashes of good shooting and always has been a great athlete. He has lottery talent. If he lives up to capability, the Hornets got themselves a player. 13. Miami Heat. P.J. Washington, power forward, Kentucky. The Heat have options, but the hot rumor right now is that they really like the talented big man. Washington is someone that has the talent of a lottery pick with his ability to stretch the floor. 14. Boston Celtics from the Sacramento Kings via Philadelphia 76ers. Tyler Herro, shooting guard, Kentucky. Herro is somebody that's a very fast riser of late. He's someone that can flat out shoot the ball, and the Celtics are a team that can use outside perimeter shooting. If they take Herro, it would not shock me if he ends up being a contributor immediately. 15. Detroit Pistons. Goga Bitadze, center, Serbia. There's a lot of buzz linking the international big and the Pistons. Bitadze, although there's skepticism because he played in overseas, is a creative big man who is terrific in the mid-range, crafty with the ball in his hands, and a strong force in the post. 16. Orlando Magic. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, shooting guard, Virginia Tech. Alexander-Walker had a great sophomore season to improve his draft stock. What makes him a hot commodity is that he can guard multiple positions and play on and off the ball. The Magic are a team that needs wing depth, and Alexander-Walker can provide that. 17. Atlanta Hawks from the Brooklyn Nets. Brandon Clark, power forward, Gonzaga. The second Gonzaga player comes off the board with Clark, who is a steal here with this pick. He provides energy and great two-way play, and he is someone analytic nerds would love with his high PER this past college season. 18. Indiana Pacers. Kevin Porter Jr., shooting guard, USC. Porter is somebody that's a lottery talent that could very well drop into the 20s through the injuries and suspension he had in college. If Porter lives up to expectations he was given before college, the Pacers could be getting themselves a steal. 19. San Antonio Spurs. Nicholas Claxton, power forward, center, Georgia. Claxton is one of the fastest risers as we sit here on draft day. He has great size and mobility, and he has versatility, and that will be why he could possibly be picked higher than this. 20. Boston Celtics from the Los Angeles Clippers. Romeo Langford, shooting guard, Indiana. Langford is someone that dealt with a torn labrum this past season, which probably held him back in college. He didn't shoot the ball well last season, but if that improves, the Celtics or whomever found themselves a player, and I say whomever, assuming the possibility of the Celtics trading the pick. 21. Oklahoma City Thunder. Cameron Johnson, small forward, North Carolina. Johnson is someone that was a very steady player in college for the Tar Heels. He's someone that could defend pretty well and shoot the three ball well. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes higher than this or goes in the second round. 22. Boston Celtics. Bol center, Oregon. The Celtics take someone that is perhaps the biggest high-ceiling, low-floor prospect in the draft in Bull. He is somebody with lottery talent that has shown good rim protection and a solid three-point shot for a 7-footer. 23. Memphis Grizzlies from the Utah Jazz. Keldon Johnson, shooting guard, small forward, Kentucky. The Grizzlies are a team that can use some youth on the wing. Johnson is somebody that can come in and develop with a team that is rebuilding. He can shoot the three ball well, but he needs to develop more defensively. 24. Philadelphia 76ers. Eric Pascal, power forward, Villanova. The Sixers settle on their city's talented big man in Pascal. His game is rugged and unflashy, and there's some skepticism about his shooting translating to the NBA line, but he could be a good fit here. 25. Portland Trailblazers. KZ Okpala, small forward, Stanford. Okpala is somebody whose stock is rising at the moment due to his length and wingspan. The Blazers can use some depth on the wing, and Okpala could be a bench guy for them and provide valuable minutes. 26. Cleveland Cavaliers from the Houston Rockets. Bruno Fernando, center, Maryland. Fernando is somebody that has tantalizing upside that averaged a double-double this past season. He has an NBA-ready body and could be a possible contributor for the Cavaliers. 27. Brooklyn Nets from the Denver Nuggets. Mfiondu Kabengele, power forward, center, Florida State. Kabengele is somebody whose stock has risen of late. The Nets are a team that has a need for a versatile big, and Kabengele is somebody that provides versatility and defends well. 28. Golden State Warriors. Matisse Thybulle, small forward, Washington. Thybulle is somebody that was curiously left off the NBA Combine list, but has the talent to be a first-round pick. He's somebody that showed fine two-way play with solid three-point shooting and great defensive instincts. 29. San Antonio Spurs from the Toronto Raptors. Luka Samanic, power forward, Olympia. Samanic had a great showing at the Combine and likely played his way into first-round territory, showcasing his offensive versatility and an improved physique that bodes well for the growth of his game. He's an ideal stretch four with his skill level and size, and didn't look bad moving his feet defensively either. 30. Detroit Pistons from the Milwaukee Bucks. Dylan Windler, shooting guard, small forward, Belmont. Windler is somebody that is very underrated coming into the draft. He's somebody that can fly out score, shoot it from three, and space the floor well. That is my final NBA mock draft on the podcast, and now I'll do my second to last NHL mock draft. It's my 7th version of it, and without further ado, here we go. Number 1, New Jersey Devils. Jack Hughes, center, USNDT. Hughes is somebody people have been talking about since last year in terms of young up-and-coming draft prospects. He's going to come in and have an immediate impact on a team that needs young assets to go with Taylor Hall and former number 1 overall pick Nico Hischier. 2, New York Rangers. Capo Caco, right wing, Lehigh, TPS. The Rangers have to be thrilled for making this big of a jump in the lottery. Caco is somebody that will jumpstart this rebuild as he broke a ton of scoring records in Lehigh. He will also make an immediate impact. It would be yet another prospect to add to a suddenly loaded prospect group featuring Vitaly Kravtsov and Keandre Miller. 3, Chicago Blackhawks. Alex Turcotte, center, USNDT. Turcotte is somebody that is a very dynamic two-way center that stock is rising. He played in the Under-18 World Championship and absolutely thrives to the point where he's the consensus choice to go third here and has strong comparisons to Jonathan Taves. 4, Colorado Avalanche from the Ottawa Senators. Kirby Dach, center, Saskatoon, WHL. Dach is one of the fastest risers as the draft approaches tomorrow. He is one of the most NHL-ready players in the draft other than Hughes and Kakko, so the Avalanche could be getting a great player here. He excels on offense with his instincts and his vision. 5, Los Angeles Kings. Bowen Byram, defenseman, Vancouver, WHL. The Kings have options with this pick as they could trade the pick, take the forward, and go defense like I have them here. Byram is the best defenseman in the draft, and the Kings need more youth on defense as Drew Doughty is aging. 6, Detroit Red Wings. Vasily Podkolzin, right wing, St. Petersburg, KHL. Podkolzin is somebody that was outstanding in the World Junior, but wasn't putting stats offensively in Russia. I can see Podkolzin slipping further than this due to contract concerns with the KHL, but at the same time, due to his upside, I can see him being picked in the top 5. 7, Buffalo Sabres. Dylan Cousins, center, Lethbridge, WHL. Cousins is somebody I'm very high on and I feel has a ton of potential. He's very dynamic and would give the Sabres a great number 2 center behind Jack Eichel down the road. 8, Edmonton Oilers. Cole Caulfield, forward, USNDT. The Oilers could go in a bunch of different directions here. Caulfield is somebody whose draft stock is rising due to his versatility he provides, and he could pan to be a top 6 forward. 9, Anaheim Ducks. Trevor Zegras, forward, USNDT. Zegras is somebody whose stock is rising because of his versatility and has smart vision. He is good both offensively and defensively, and somebody the Ducks will move around in their lineup because of his versatility. 10, Vancouver Canucks. Matthew Bodley, right wing, USNDT. Bodley is yet another USNDT player taken in the lottery. He has a ton of size and scores the puck from both sides of the wing and is someone the Canucks would take a chance on. 11, Philadelphia Flyers. Philip Brodberg, defenseman, AIK, Sweden. The Flyers could go in a number of directions with this pick. Brodberg is somebody that is a good offensive defenseman that has good vision as well as controls the game well in all zones. 12, Minnesota Wild. Peyton Curbs, left wing. Kootenay, WHL. Curbs is somebody that is a dynamic offensive force like some of the other wingers in the top of the draft. He's fast and has a good hockey IQ, which the Wild would like. 13, Florida Panthers. Spencer Knight, goalie, USNDT. There hasn't been a goalie with the fire and intensity like Knight drafted this high in a long time. Roberto Luongo's future is uncertain, and even if they do sign Sergei Bobrovsky, Knight is someone that would be a good long-term solution because I don't see Bobrovsky getting a 7-year deal. Maybe he gets like a 4-year deal or something from the Panthers with a lot of money attached to it. 14, Arizona Coyotes. Alex Newhook, center, Victoria, BCHL. Newhook is somebody that has been up and down draft boards of late, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was a lottery pick or if he almost fell out of the first round. He is a big offensive force and has blazing speed. 15, Montreal Canadiens. Cam York, defenseman, USNDT. The USNDT dominance continues as the Canadiens take York. He is somebody that could be a top 4D man on someone's roster and is somebody that has lottery talent, and if he pans out, the Habs found themselves a player. 16, Colorado Avalanche. Arthur Kaliev, left wing, Hamilton, OHL. Kaliev is somebody that can flat out score. Some people have concerns with his skating ability and his two-way game, or else he would have been in the conversation for a top 10 or even top 5 pick. 17, Vegas Golden Knights. Ryan Suzuki, center, Barrie, OHL. The younger brother of former Knights first-rounder Kurt, Ryan may end up being the better prospect. He's a great skater and has good vision for the game as well as great playmaking skills. 18, Dallas Stars. Raphael Lavoie, forward, Halifax, OHL. Lavoie is somebody whose draft stock is rising to the point where he could be a lottery pick. He's a physical player, but also somebody with speed that can wire a heavy shot. 19, Ottawa Senators from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Thomas Hardley, defenseman, Mississauga, OHL. Hardley is somebody that is an excellent two-way defenseman and probably a steal with this pick. He's somebody that the Senators can have on their top pair down the road with Thomas Chabot. 20, Winnipeg Jets. Victor Soderstrom, defenseman, Brinas, super elite. The Jets go defense here as they take Soderstrom to add to a defense that needs youth all of a sudden after trading away Jacob Trouba. He's someone that is smart and could be great offensively and is reliable defensively. 21, Pittsburgh Penguins. Maurice Sider, defenseman, Adler, SCL. The Penguins have options with this pick as they can either package it in a trade or stay put here at 21. Cedar is somebody that is a great two-way defenseman and is a force to be reckoned with. 22, Los Angeles Kings from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Bobby Brink, right wing, Sioux Falls, U.S. Hockey League. The Kings take the fast-rising winger here who can go higher than this. Brink isn't the fastest skater, but has good footwork and agility, allowing him to weave in and out of traffic and around defenders. 23, New York Islanders. Phil Tomasino, forward, Niagara, OHL. Tomasino is somebody that is versatile and has a knack of making plays with a ton of speed. That's something that a team like the Islanders would like, especially if they could possibly use some youth in terms of forwards now. 24, Nashville Predators. Igor Afanasyev, left wing, Muskegon, U.S. Hockey League. Afanasyev is a burgeoning power forward with a hard, heavy shot, and he's able to get anywhere in the offensive zone. He could add strength and skill to a Nashville power play that was last in the league during the regular season and the playoffs. 25, Washington Capitals. Samuel Poulin, left wing, Sherbrooke, Quebec Hockey League. Poulin is somebody whose stock is falling to the point where he could drop into the second round. His size combined with above-average puck handling and shooting playmaking skills makes him an attractive power forward NHL prospect. 26, Calgary Flames. Brett Leeson, forward, Prince Albert, WHL. Leeson is someone rare in the sense that he was undrafted last season and now projects to be a late first or early second round pick, and that says a lot on how much he has improved as a player. He can flat out score and has good size and plays a power game. 27, Tampa Bay Lightning. V.I. Hinola, defenseman, Luco, SM Leja. Hinola is somebody that is very good at attacking and making odd man situations. His moves make people remind him of Rasmus Dahlin. 28, Carolina Hurricanes. Jacob Patellier, forward, Moncton, Quebec Hockey League. The Hurricanes take a versatile forward here with their first rounder. Patellier is somebody that Has great tenacity and skill, as well as generating chances off the forecheck. 29, Anaheim Ducks from the San Jose Sharks via the Buffalo Sabres. Tobias Jornfoot, defenseman, Djurgården, super elite. Jornfoot is somebody that is a fast riser with the draft being tomorrow. He's a fluid skater with escapability who can log big minutes. His quick release on his wrister helps create rebounds of seemingly harmless attempts. 30, Boston Bruins. Lassie Thompson, defenseman, Kelowna, WHL. The Bruins go defense with their first rounder here with Thompson. He's somebody that has the upside of being a top 4 pairing and is a good skater, but needs help on his defensive game. 31, Buffalo Sabres from the St. Louis Blues. Connor McMichael, center, London, OHL. McMichael is somebody that is very crafty and the type of player that the Sabres could add to what could be a contender sooner rather than later. He is also great at finishing, and he's stood out among a London Knights team that is loaded with scores. That's it for my latest NHL mock draft, and before I go to best bet, breaking news here in Major League Baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays received permission to explore splitting seasons between Tampa Bay and Montreal. That is very interesting, and I'm fascinated to see how this plays out. That's big news for Canada, as they have essentially a second baseball team to root for. I know that the Rays really haven't been drawing at Tropicana Field, so it's a big deal that they're exploring some other cities, although it would be, in this scenario, for a half season. We're going to get more into this story tomorrow and in next week's podcast. Best bet brought to you by DraftKings. We're going to go through baseball, college, and World Cup. No doubt about it, I am taking the United States against Sweden. I'm going to take Chile against Thailand, although I don't feel good about the Chile pick. In baseball, I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks. I'm going to go with the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Twins, and I'm not going to go with the Dodgers because Bumgarner tends to pitch well against them. Wagering $1, a little above 9-1 odds, payout of $10.12. That's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping the first round of the draft and the second round too. Doing my last hockey mock draft, baseball, World Cup, College World Series, and anything else that happens in the world of sports. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.